Hi, good morning, and welcome to the next edition of Dimensional Movement. So today's talk is called Seeding the New World or Spellbound No More. And I made a couple of YouTube shorts on my YouTube channel. One of them is called Spellbound, and the other one is called When Sensation Saturates Your Experience, the World Becomes Yours. So I welcome you to check those out. They're fun, they're out in nature. Okay, so last time I talked about how when the mind is king, the mind informs your entire sense of yourself as a being, little person there. Your sensation, your emotion, your imagination, your mind informs and identifies everything that's going on with you through programming and language, and it creates ordinary reality. And the programming in language, those are the spells. Those are the spells that are binding you to a reality that tells you that reality is outside of you and that you don't have authority over it, which is what the Spellbound video was, a little taste of that. Okay. And then instead, making sensation king, or starting to really allow a sensation to begin to inform the mind, which it will. And the mind is very hungry for this because it's new information, and the mind loves new information. So you start listening to your sensation and letting it saturate, letting it seep into ordinary reality. The mind is like, what was that? And it gives you an experience of dream time. And I hinted or theorized that perhaps while we're sleeping, we go back to source. That's why we get replenished. That's why we get restored. And when you're having this experience of dream time, it feels like non-ordinary reality, but you're being restored. You're being, and there's a lot of reasons for that, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. So, and the problem in this paradigm is that because when the mind is informing reality, and it's informing your entire physicality, it's informing your biology, it's informing what gets you up in the morning, and your tasks for the day, is that it it ages you. That's what ages you. That's what kills you. That's what ages your body and wears you out and finally kills you, because you're using your biology and your physicality to uphold this ordinary reality, which is actually an artifice. It's actually the Maya. It's actually illusory. There's a lot on that I won't go into. Okay, so what happens next is this: you start having these experiences of dream time or non-ordinary reality while you're in your waking life, right? You're in the ordinary reality. And what does that create? When these start to intersect, it creates a Pisces, creates a vesica Pisces. It creates a portal. And this portal is the portal to the new world. And this portal is you. You're the portal to the new world. And this portal is the hole. This is the hole that you're poking in the matrix. And this portal is also, what does it look like? It's a seed. Every time that you do this, every time that you allow yourself to have an experience where your sensorial experience or your dream time experience crosses into ordinary reality, and you find yourself in this sort of crossover experience where am I in a dream? Am I in reality? What's happening here? I don't know, but I like it. It feels like I'm transcending something. You're poking a hole in the matrix, and you're planting a seed, and you're planting a seed, and you're planting a seed. You're planting seeds in the collective. You're having this experience. and it is going out into the collective. And these seeds are floating around, and eventually they're gonna find a ground of the ground of something, and they're going to plant themselves, and then they're going to start to sprout, and they're going to kind of sprout, and they're going to bloom into the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden that we are seeding now, today. And in the Garden of Eden, this golden age that we're heading into the new world, all of these blossoms and these blooms, that's the nourishment that's going to come back to us. So instead of us holding up ordinary reality with our biology, with our energy, with our thought, with our mind, we're going to enter into a reality that just nourishes us, that there'll be this continuous nourishment. This whole idea, this whole linear cause or effect, I have to work hard in order to gain a reward, it's going to go away. It's going to be replaced by something else. I'm not sure what, but I know it's going to be blooms and blossoms of perfection. And there's one more thing that I want to say about this, is that as this happens, and as we move into this new world, and we so those of us who are doing this, those of us who are playing around with this, of creating these holes in the matrix, of creating these seeds of the new reality, we get to be in a place of witnessing the change from the old reality to the next, because of a thing called metacognition. Okay, so, and maybe I should have talked about this a little bit before, but metacognition is the ability to actually recognize your thinking and your thoughts, which is, it's kind of required for this whole thing to actually happen. Because when you start recognizing your thoughts, and you start recognizing that your thoughts are affecting you, you have a disidentification. You start disidentifying from your thoughts, but not everybody has this ability. There are people who think that they are their thoughts, and they never step out of that story of their life and who they are. But if you have the ability to recognize your thoughts, it's one reason for meditation, is you quiet your mind, and then suddenly there's a thinker, and there's this other presence that isn't the thinker. That's metacognition. So those of us who have this metacognition, is as we travel, as we poke these holes in the matrix, as we move into the Garden of Eden, we have the memory of what it was like before. But those who don't have metacognition, they're going to reap the reward of all the work that we're doing. They're going to just step into the new reality, and it's going to be like, this is how it always was. There won't be the memory. So we have the unfathomable delight of knowing that we're the ones that planted the seeds.